In early 2024, Tesla was going through a difficult period. Domestic sales were fluctuating, competition was growing, and Elon Musk was increasingly focused on politics and public statements. He had long stopped hiding his sympathy for certain figures, including Donald Trump, whom he called the only one who can truly restore order in the country. At that time, Laura Hilton worked in Tesla's communications department, a 34-year-old public relations specialist. Smart, ambitious, with a Yale degree and years of experience in corporate reputation management. She was valued in the company for her professionalism, crisis communication skills, and deep understanding of the media industry. But Laura had one particular trait. She was very active on Twitter, now X, where she often spoke out on political matters. And especially harshly, about Donald Trump. Her tweets often went viral. Trump is a threat to democracy. How can anyone seriously consider bringing this man back to power? It's shocking that Tesla is rumored to support this clown. At first, no one seemed to mind. Tesla had a culture of freedom, until one of Laura's tweets caught the attention of Elon Musk himself. And that's when everything changed. It happened one morning in mid-February. Elon, as usual, was browsing X, his favorite platform, which he now controlled directly. In his feed, he came across a retweet from a prominent conservative blogger, a screenshot of Laura Hilton's tweet with her sharp comment about Trump, accompanied by the caption, "So this is what Tesla employees think." At Elon Musk, "Are you okay with this?" Half an hour later, Laura received her first email from HR. "We kindly ask you to delete your recent posts related to comments about public political figures." Such messages may be perceived as the official position of the company. She was surprised but complied. She deleted the post without commenting. However, the next morning the situation took a turn. Her Tesla badge was suddenly deactivated. The receptionist told her she no longer had access to the office. A few hours later, she received a call from Human Resources. "We have decided to terminate your contract at the initiative of management." The official reason: loss of trust and violation of corporate ethics. Laura was in shock. She immediately began gathering documents, consulting with lawyers, and considering a public statement. The whole situation seemed absurd. She wasn't fired for her work or for a failed project, but for expressing an opinion on her personal social media account. But the most interesting part began once the story hit the media. 3 days after the dismissal, Laura gave a major interview to a local New York outlet. The headline blared across the front page, "I was fired from Tesla for speaking out against Trump." The story instantly spread across social media. Liberal media picked up the scandal, analyzing every one of Laura's tweets, every line from the HR email. Some even began calling her a new symbolic figure in the fight against corporate censorship. Conservatives, on the other hand, attacked her in the comments, accusing her of leftist radicalism, political hypocrisy, and unprofessionalism. A real storm erupted on X. The hashtags #boycott Tesla and #justice for Laura racked up millions of mentions. And then, Elon Musk himself entered the fray. He couldn't stay silent. In response to one of the viral posts about Laura, he wrote, "Tesla is not a place for political propaganda. If you want to turn personal opinions into corporate positions, find another place to work." That tweet triggered an even bigger explosion. It was reposted by politicians, activists, celebrities. Some praised Musk's decisiveness. Others condemned him. Meanwhile, Laura filed a lawsuit against Tesla for wrongful termination and violation of free speech. She was represented by a team of high-profile lawyers, including those who had previously gone up against Facebook and Amazon. And soon, something completely unexpected happened. 2 weeks after filing the lawsuit in New York's district court, Laura Hilton's case unexpectedly caught the attention of one of the leading candidates in the upcoming election, Democrat Matthew Grayson. He appeared at a press conference and said, "If the largest corporations begin firing employees for their opinions, this isn't just a corporate drama. This is a threat to free speech and democracy. Laura suddenly found herself at the center of a major political battle. She began receiving invitations to TV shows, podcasts, YouTube interviews. She was becoming the face of resistance to political pressure in the technocratic world. But Musk had his own move. Tesla released an official press statement claiming that the dismissal had nothing to do with Laura's political views and was instead due to multiple violations of internal confidentiality policies and the company's public representation standards. At that moment, an internal message from Tesla's Slack chats was leaked online. It discussed unwanted public activity by employees, and Laura's name was highlighted in bold. It was a bombshell. The media began digging deeper, and testimonies from former employees surfaced, claiming that Musk personally maintained a list of problematic individuals within the company. Tesla's stock began to fall. The board of directors called for an emergency meeting. Whispers started to spread that Laura's firing could lead to a major lawsuit, reputational damage, and regulatory scrutiny. And then, unexpectedly, Musk requested a personal meeting with Laura. At first, she thought it was a joke. She got a call from Elon's personal assistant. Mr. Musk would like to meet. No lawyers. Off the record. In New York, tomorrow evening. After consulting with her legal team, she agreed. The meeting took place in a private room at the top of a luxury skyscraper in Manhattan. Elon entered alone, without security, dressed in a black hoodie and sneakers. His expression was calm, almost emotionless. He stared at her in silence for a few moments, then finally spoke. Do you want to go down in history as the person who got fired over a tweet? Or as the person who helped change the rules of the game? Laura was stunned. Musk offered a compromise. He didn't admit wrongdoing, but promised rehabilitation, a major donation from Tesla to support free speech programs, a reinstatement of Laura's position, but in a new role, internal ombudsperson for ethics and communication. He said, "You know how to make noise. Why not channel that noise into something constructive?" She declined, politely but firmly. "I'm not for sale, Elon. I'm not someone you can silence with money." The next day, Laura publicly revealed the details of the meeting. The reaction was explosive. Her post gained over 80 million views in a single day. She had officially become the symbol of a new movement, against corporate silence, against political double standards, and for the right to be oneself, even within the system. Tesla responded with a countersuit. The legal battle dragged on for nearly 6 months. And finally, after half a year of intense courtroom proceedings, the Manhattan District Court delivered its verdict. Tesla was found guilty of wrongfully terminating Laura Hilton. The court ruled that the company's actions were ideologically motivated and violated federal laws protecting freedom of expression. Laura was awarded $18.5 million in damages for emotional distress, lost income, and reputational harm. But the real impact was the precedent. The case, Hilton versus Tesla Inc., became a landmark in shaping a new approach to free speech in corporate America. Dozens of companies revised their internal codes and employee social media policies in its wake. Laura became a hero. She appeared on magazine covers, was referenced in university lectures, and spoke at TED. She founded her own organization, Free Voice, dedicated to defending workers' rights to free expression. Tesla suffered a serious blow to its reputation. Musk, as always, didn't back down. He continued to claim he had done the right thing, insisting that companies shouldn't be arenas for political games. But even his supporters began to acknowledge the need for balance between order and freedom. A year later, Laura sat in a studio in front of a live audience on *60 Minutes. The interviewer asked her a final question. If you could go back to the day you wrote that tweet about Trump, would you do it again? Laura smiled. Absolutely, because if we start fearing our own words, it means someone else has already started thinking for us.